Hey guys, so for today's makeup look, I have a how-to kind of video where I really give you guys some amazing informative tips and a step-by-step tutorial on how to achieve a flawless kind of glowing bronzy makeup look. Lately, I've totally been obsessed with more of a natural kind of glowing makeup look that just looks like your skin glowing from within. So I'm gonna share with you guys my top tips to achieve that. I've been kind of rocking, I feel like, the more natural glowy makeup look lately, so I've kind of gathered a bunch of products that are my favorite to achieve that, so I figured I would create an entire how-to step-by-step tutorial on how to achieve a glowy makeup look, but also including all of my favorite kind of glowing hydrating products. So if you guys are interested in checking out this glowing bronzy kind of makeup look and how to step-by-step, then make sure to keep on watching. So let's go ahead and start prepping the skin. The first thing I want to do is apply this Urban Decay Rehab makeup prep. I love this. This kind of works as like a secondary moisturizer slash primer for me because it's so hydrating. It's a really nice kind of like water gel, which I love when you apply it. It feels like you're applying a thicker version of water on your face, but it just feels so good on the skin. So now I'm going to use this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's one of my favorites to get a super like flawless smooth base. Regardless if I want matte skin or dewy skin, I always have to use a smoothing primer because it just really fills in the pores and makes you look super smooth. But since today I want a really nice kind of dewy glow, I'm going to mix it in with the Marc Jacobs Coconut Perfecting Primer. You guys, this is like holy grail status for me. It just makes your skin look so alive without making it look overly greasy. So nice. And once it does settle down, it just looks so good. So now I want to go ahead and spray my face with the Smashbox Primer Water. I love this before foundation. I'm like running out of it. It's so perfect before foundation because you see how it gives you your face like this wetness. It will settle down afterwards, but having that wetness on your face, it mixes in really nicely with your foundation and it just helps make it look super natural. It's almost kind of like how you wet your beauty blender, and having the wet beauty blender makes your foundation apply more naturally. Wetting your face, I just find gives that like kind of same effect. One more thing before foundation, I am going to apply a cream highlighter. This is one of my favorite things to do underneath the foundation. You can also do it on top. I do that sometimes, but it's major key underneath the foundation. Trust me, because it just gives like that slight, it almost looks like you're naturally glowing from within since it's underneath that foundation. This product in particular, this is the Marc Jacobs Dewdrops. This dries fairly quickly. So once you do apply it, have your Beauty Blender or Sigma HD 3D sponge or 3D HD sponge ready to go, ready to blend. And since it does dry down nicely, what that does is it's really going to settle onto the skin and last all day. So I do love this, even though it dries quickly. It's not a big deal for me because it is very easy to blend. It's not like it takes so long to blend out. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit, whatever's left over on my finger, on my nose. So for foundations, whenever I want to look super healthy, I do have like normal to oily skin, but I can personally get away with like dewy makeup for a few hours without setting, and then I can get away with it if I do set it for even longer. But this is one of my go-tos because this actually lasts really long on me, and it's not overly dewy. It's a really nice luminous finish, but still has this like soft natural finish, you know what I'm saying? It's not overly dewy, so it's my go-to to pair with really nice hydrating prep products. But I really also love the L'Oreal True Match. I highly recommend this. The only difference is this is more dewy than this is, so I don't get as long of a wear out of the L'Oreal one, but I love this. Like, it is flawless. Let's use the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and this one is in the shade 6.5. I'm gonna take one pump, another pump. I like a full coverage face, so, you know, just doing it up here, don't mind me. And now the Wet Beauty Blender. This is like, ooh, this is goals if you want a really natural, like healthy looking foundation application. I love this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bounce it on. You guys know the Beauty Blender, like, hello, especially if you watch my channel. It's my obsession. And this foundation just blends out so quickly. Like, do you not see how easy it was just to blend out? This is one of my top holy grail foundations, I'm telling you guys. If you want to achieve a beautiful, beautiful, flawless, glowing base that looks healthy and not overly greasy, this foundation. And you really just always want to make sure. I actually want to do an updated makeup do's and don'ts. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. I think those are always fun and super informative. But never forget to blend into your ears, take it behind your ears, blend it on the jawline and down the neck, just so that it doesn't look like you're wearing this like mask. You want to like make it seem like it's naturally a part of you, you know? So next step for me is always to conceal, and I just can't get away from my Tarte concealer. This is more of a matte concealer, not super like radiant or anything like that, but I love that underneath the eyes because it just gives a beautiful kind of matte highlight, and also really helps to conceal really nicely since this is super full coverage. I am going to take the shade Light Medium. We're also going to put this down the center of the face. I'm also going to take a little bit of the shade Light and just do this because it's going to really help brighten, and I'm only going to apply a little bit on the center because I don't like too much of a bright center as much as I love a really bright under eye. To blend out the concealer, my favorite is the Sigma 3D HD just because of all the rigid edges. So perfect for underneath the eye. The trick with keeping a super bright under eye is not to blend away all of the concealer. You definitely want to make sure that these edges are blended away nicely, but you don't have to keep blending this center part until it completely disappears. And it won't look cakey because you're blending it out with this perfect wet beauty blender, which really helps to blend it in nicely and make it look more natural. And around those edges, I will take the same beauty blender I use for my foundation and mix it between, and kind of go between that and the bottom of the Sigma 3D, just to really make sure that those edges are blended nicely. And I did bring it up the side of the nose because that's really going to help to shape my nose as well. So now we're going to do some bronzing / contouring, but we're going to use a cream product, which has been my favorite lately because it just makes you look more natural. It doesn't look like you have a mask on or anything like that, not cakey. This is the Anastasia foundation stick in the shade Amber. I'm going to use this e.l.f. brush, which I get questions on all the time. I believe this is the 103 brush. I actually have this linked on my blog if you guys are interested under Shop My Favorites. And just apply that to kind of bronze and contour at the same time. Because I haven't really been doing too much direct contouring, more just like a cream natural bronze. And I am going to apply a little bit more and really take it up the sides of my face so I can kind of shape my face a little bit better. So I almost completely forgot to set my under eye. These are the Wet n Wild contour palettes. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of this yellow shade, but I'm also going to mix it in with a little bit of this paler shade because it's really going to help brighten. And of course, this is also going to set the concealer so it doesn't crease. And I am going to take a little bit of that and also set the nose and the forehead. And back to that cream bronzer, we are going to use that right underneath the chin and just along the jawline. So now I want to go ahead and set that bronzer that we did. I've been loving these two. This one is so beautiful. This is by Milani. This is their baked bronzer in Soleil. Guys, this is perfect if you want a bronzer that has a really nice kind of luminous sheen to it. It is so beautiful. But this is the L'Oreal Glam Bronze. I've been obsessed with this as a matte bronzer. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Milani Soleil bronzer. You really don't need that much of it because it is super pigmented. I am just gonna take my favorite Sigma F50 brush, and I'm just gonna lightly, like I don't wanna press too hard since that is a cream product, I don't wanna like move it. This Anastasia foundation is really great at kind of setting in so it doesn't move that easily, which I like, but you don't wanna like press too hard. Just let these beautiful like sheer, you know, spaced out fibers at the top just kind of brush the skin so you're not pressing too hard. And I just use circular motions. It helps to blend it nicely so it can look more natural. And of course, bring it up the sides. So I am just going to take a little bit of the Benefit Hoola bronzer. And I am just going to contour the nose just the slightest bit. So now for the glow, I'm going to use my favorite Anastasia Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit. I'm just going to take a little bit of Glow Getter, or a lot, not a little bit, and just apply that on the tops of the cheeks. So beautiful. And having that Marc Jacobs cream product underneath just makes it look so natural. It just really helps to work the two together. And I am gonna dust it. I always love dusting it right in this area because that's where the sun and the light will tend to hit you, and it looks so beautiful. And I always like to apply a good amount right on the Cupid's bow. And sometimes I'll just dust some right on the lips so that when I go ahead and apply my gloss or my lipstick, whatever, it will look so pretty right underneath. And of course on the nose. And I like to apply a lot right on the tip. What I do also do is take the highlight and apply it right on the collarbone and also some right, woo, that's a lot. Probably gonna blend that out. Right on the tip of the shoulder. So now I want to move on to the eyes. I'm not going to spend too much time on the eyes since this kind of tutorial is mainly focused on the base makeup, but I do want to show you guys a really beautiful kind of bronzy glowy look that pairs really nice with this face makeup from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm obsessed with this palette. The quality is amazing. I've played around with it a bit more since my first impressions tutorial, and I'm obsessed, honestly. So in my last video, I actually Snapchatted my makeup and a lot of you guys loved it, so I figured I would come on here and kind of recreate it and do it again. It's super simple and easy. The first thing we're gonna do is mix the shades Silk Cream with Pukey. This is going to work perfectly on the crease, and we're just gonna quickly dust it in and flare it out. This is gonna be super, super, super easy look. I'm gonna switch over to just Pukey and just apply that right here. It's gonna add some extra definition, and don't forget to flare it out. And then take whatever's left over and just bring it in a bit. So easy. This literally took like 10 seconds and you have a really nice crease. What I always like to do is just take this fluffy brush. This is a Sigma E40. And just go over everything to make sure it's super blended. So next we're gonna take the shade Queen, and this shade is so beautiful. It's so foiled and metallic on its own without being wet. So I'm going to apply it dry for you guys to see, and then I will wet it later just to kind of add that extra intensity. Taking Silk Cream and Pukey, I'm just going to apply that underneath the lower lash line. Taking the Sigma E41, I'm going to concentrate Pukey right on the lower lash line. And for the inner corner, I'm going to wet my brush and take Glow Getter from the Anastasia Nicole Guerriero palette. So for the lips, I'm going to take the Tarte lipstick in the shade Skinny Dip. To finish up the lips, I'm going to take the Revlon Super Lustrous lip gloss in the shade Sandstorm. So lastly, what you want to do is set the face. This is my favorite setting spray ever because it really does help to make your makeup last super long. This is the Kat Von D Lock and Load Makeup Setting Mist. This is the old packaging. They switched it up now, but I'm obsessed with this. I've been using this for years now. I love it. So you just want to go ahead and spray that all over. And we're also going to finish this off with some of the Marc Jacobs Coconut Spray. This really helps to give a beautiful glow to your skin. So I'm just going to shake it up really nicely and make sure I press the nozzle down all the way so you can get an even spray. So that is it for this makeup look. I just went ahead and popped on some lashes. These are the ESQDIO Celestial lashes that I've been obsessed with lately. I really hope you guys enjoyed how this makeup look turned out, and also kind of my step-by-step how-to. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.